So, welcome back, folks. You know what it is. Smoking Word Podcast. Back at it again.
In the attic, like always.
Like always.
How y'all feeling? How y'all live?
Did you miss me?
What about it?
Y'all see, we have a very special guest. Oh, yeah, we got to introduce. Y'all know who he is.
Yeah, y'all know. We just be skipping over us.
Yeah, y'all
but
should know.
it's C to the J.
And SP the Ghost. Y'all know. And then we have Miss Rashida Pearson with us, our very special guest today.
I'm a
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
Good energy in the room.
Thanks for having me. Well, my name is Rashida Pearson. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm the owner of Whetsel Wellness, located in Cincinnati, Ohio. 4307 Whetsel Avenue. If you're ever in Cincinnati, that's the address.
Yes.
I am a cannabis advocate. I am the founder of the Cincinnati Minority Cannabis Group. We are a 501c3 nonprofit cannabis organization where we're organizing and basically fighting for social equity and social justice, and unifying the cannabis community to destigmatize cannabis.
Yes, which I'm a part of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tasha is our awesome secretary. Thank you. She keeps us all in order.
Yes.
And I'm also a mental health professional. I have a master's in mental health counseling, and I specialize in trauma. So I'm a trauma counselor. And my population is youth, transitional youth. That's 16 to 25.
It's an important time.
Very.
Yes, it is. So that's one of my biggest passions, to rally and be a huge advocate for youth culture.
Okay.
Beautiful.
What brought you into that space?
I think what brought me into the population is that I think that was the roughest time of my life. Graduating from high school, I wanted to go to college so bad. And my mother was like, girl, you was a C average student. I ain't signing no student loans for you. I was like, TS, you accepted me. Like, she was like, I'm not getting in debt for you. I got my own student loans. And she was like, you can get a job at Keyword. I've been working there. They'll get you a job. I was like, nah.
Your mom was there a long time.
Yeah, she worked there for 47 years.
Wow.
So, she's retired, living her best life. But, I wanted something different. So I got into healthcare. So I started off as an STNA, then I went into hospice, and then I ended up at psych while I was in nursing school.
Wow.
And I love psych, and I started paying attention to how the nurses, all they did was push the carts up and down the hallway and pass out meds. They really didn't connect with the patients, and the patients were like gravitating to me. And
because you treat them like human beings?
Yes. And so I went to a very racist nursing program through Mount St. Joe. It was very rigorous. I did not do well in one of my theory classes, and they were like, you got to take it over next year. I'm like, I got to wait another year? I was supposed to graduate. And so I switched my major to behavioral science, and then I went back and got my master's in mental health counseling.
Okay.
So I was like, well, medicating someone is not healing them.
Yeah.
But helping them to work through their issues, that's really healing somebody.
For sure.
So that's how I got into mental health. And the youth part was because that part of life was so rough. And I overcame it. And I'm like, I have that understanding. I think that was the most traumatic aspect of my upbringing, was graduating from high school and hearing, you got to buy your own sanitary napkins. You got to buy your own deodorant. Like, I'm not buying none of your hygiene stuff. And then I want you to give me $50 a month if you're going to be working.
Like, you ain't expect this a month ago, but now you do? Like,
As soon as I turned 18 and graduated, she put the responsibility on me now. At 47 with 2 kids. Trust me, somewhere after 30, I've called her and was like, Mom, thank you so much. Because it taught me to be responsible, right? I'm ready to, I know how to live without my parents. gifts.
Yeah.
I use them for their emotional support now, not their financial, right?
Yeah.
So she definitely prepared me to be an adult. So I didn't like it at the time, but today I value it.
That's real.
And so just, helping to pour those same values and helping young people to understand it. My mom wasn't good at explaining the why, but had she explained the why, I might have received it differently. Because I was like, the whole summer, I didn't talk to her. I was so mad at my mom.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the way we
like
do
betrayal.
stuff as black people, though, too. Like you said, just further explaining the why, not just, all right, well, you this age,
gotta do this.
you know, how
Black
we
parents
can
are really good at that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to tell you why.
Right.
Think about how many times it's just like, because I said so.
Right.
Because I said so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
So we're entitled to understanding, even as kids.
Yeah.
You
The
know?
kids today, because I said so, doesn't work. That's not an effective statement today. But back then, we just had to do what they said. And my favorite cousins was going to Georgia Southern at the time. So we traveling. I'm going to see them on college campus, hanging out with them.
And it was lit down south.
Yeah, I say, what was that like?
And
'Cause what year are we talking? Like,
this was 96.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I come from Freaknik.
Yeah.
Era. You know what I'm saying?
It was lit.
I was going down to the Freakniks. So I was ready to go to college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was so mad at my mom. And so, but I had my daughter. I can do my own financial aid. And that was the thing. It was a financial aid thing.
Yeah.
Living in her home, you couldn't be responsible for your own financial aid. You had to have your parents' signature. Once I had my daughter, I moved out. I moved to the projects. She didn't like that. I think I moved to Wind Terrace out of spite.
No, but you told me I gotta get my own shit.
this is where I gotta go.
Right.
This is where she
My
at.
rent $20.
Listen,
So what you want from me?
Wind Terrace was like that was my dormitory. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? While I went to school. So, even that added even more personal growth. Because I grew up in Madisonville. It was a black, working class community. You know what I'm saying? So
Shout out to Madville. We
Exit now,
definitely
baby.
always
we different, y'all. Y'all
bringing
know
up
that?
Madville.
Yeah.
Last season, I got a Madisonville YMCA shirt that's older than him. Like,
That's what's up.
That's where we met.
yeah, we met in Madisonville.
Madisonville. Wow.
Yeah.
Swimming pool, man.
Man, Stewart Park.
Yes.
I love Madisonville. It was a good neighborhood. I feel like I said it was a
Back then
genuine
it was
working
real
class.
nice.
Wasn't a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Oh.
People
No,
got
it was
along.
a
I
wholesome
remember.
family,
Yeah,
and
it
I
really
have
was.
5 generations out there now.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
So that's what we really wanted to bring you on to discuss trauma, because we know your background and stuff like that, and just how that really affects the black community as a whole right now. And I think the youth is important, because to me that's when you can still catch something and turn it a different way.
Exactly.
You can't really teach no old dog no new tricks. You know what I mean? But you could train a puppy up, right?
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
So I think that's very commendable, because it feels like we're in a time where people have given up on them too.
They have, or it's easier to give up than to try to understand.
Yeah. And to acknowledge our part in how they are.
Accountability.
Yeah,
The
accountability.
big A.
Yeah.
Maybe that should have been the word of the day.
Yeah, for real. And trauma, mental health is something very close to both of our hearts, as we both have family members, generationally, that have suffered from mental health issues. And I'm sure you do, too.
Absolutely. Both
I
sides.
feel like most people do, but
Yeah.
like, so it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had.
Well, understanding if you're black in America, you have experienced trauma, because the number one incident of trauma is racism.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can look it up.
We so used to it that we
Yeah,
don't even
serious.
look at it as trauma.
Right. That's so sad.
Racism is
You know what
that's
comes
the
to
number
mind?
one factor of trauma.
When I was in college, one of my friends, she was from Detroit, and she was in Cincinnati, and it's super black up there. So some of the experience we was used to, she wasn't.
Okay.
When we was in Bowling Green, maybe we was here at Bowling Green, and she got called a nigger, and we was already grown for real, and I was just like, I don't care about being called a nigger. And she was like on the verge of tears. And I was just like, Dang, like.
Now, I ain't gonna
Wait,
lie,
who
that
called
didn't
you a
happen to
nigga,
me
though?
till
Who called you a
college.
nigga?
For real?
You
A
have been called a
white
nigger
person
before
called you a
college?
Hell yeah.
So a white
In
person,
Cincinnati?
Maybe because I went to white schools for
a
real.
white person called you a nigger at school,
As
Or
a child.
just in
in
life.
college, in
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
and you did what?
It was more like an indirect thing, like niggers, like when you walking down the street or some shit like that. And she was like on the verge of tears. I'm like, this happens all the time.
See,
You remember in high school, even like Tiff in high school had called us all niggers at the game, like shit like that.
Well, I wasn't there, so I...
Just shit like I felt
Not
like
that, I mean, I didn't empathize, but it was
it
just
was
like...
normal to me.
I
guess.
never got called a nigger until
Not
I was at
directly.
OU.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
my first time.
I do remember a direct situation. We went to Canada for a 6th grade trip where I went to Eastern Hills.
Went to Eastern Hills. Shout out to Eastern
Eastern
Hills.
Hills. And they took us to Niagara Falls, but on the Canadian side and stuff. And we was in Quebec, and we was like at a museum minding our business, and it was another school, and they called us all niggers. Like, and I was in 6th grade, but we was ready to square up. They weren't ready for that.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna sit there. I will be so full of emotion.
I was definitely very salty when it
we was
happened to me, and I
already
was in my
fucked up.
early 20s.
But that's my point. Like, I didn't even look at it as trauma because I had heard it so many times, and that's fucked up in itself.
But that's where the trauma plays.
That's the trauma in itself.
Yeah.
So you're so traumatized.
I buried
You
it.
become desensitized.
Exactly,
Yeah.
I was desensitized.
Right. It's the same with gun violence.
Yeah.
When the gun violence was, I can remember some of my young friends that I've lost along the years to gun violence. It hit different years ago than today. Today it's almost a norm to turn the TV on and see a black person being killed by a black person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It makes me frustrated that we keep doing this to each other, but it doesn't feel the same as feeling a sense of loss.
Yeah.
It's more of the agenda that I'm upset with, more so than losing a life. Does that make sense?
And that's terrible.
That's crazy.
So,
I mean, not terrible, but it's like...
that we've arrived there.
yeah, that we're here. Yeah. But it's, I mean, and it's even the black on black. I can't stress that it's so important that we all understand trauma. What I mean by all, I mean everybody that look like us has to understand. And once we understand it, we'll treat each other differently. You understand? Mm-hmm. We'll handle our money differently. We will raise our children differently. Because the answer to our behavior is the actions that's been put upon us. Mm. The lies, even the lies, the way we've been treated. A lot of people don't understand. It's in our genes. Trauma goes back 15 generations.
Mm. Yeah.
Did y'all know that?
That's deep.
15 generations.
So stuff you ain't even experienced, you still reaping the benefits of.
Absolutely.
And what we call that post-traumatic slave syndrome.
We're still in post-traumatic slave syndrome. Absolutely.
Hey,
if you're in Cincinnati and looking for style, sustainability, and natural wellness, we've got the place for you.
Yes, it's called Cincinnati Hemp Company. Located down in the historic Findlay Market area. They've been there since 2019, providing the whole city with eco-friendly, organic hemp products and wellness products.
So if you're looking to upgrade your wardrobe with earth-conscious clothing, or just want to learn more about hemp culture and how it's shaping the future, you should stop by today.
And don't forget to mention Smoke and Word Podcast when you get there for any special offers or discounts. Now let's get back to the show. Peace.
Absolutely.
So that kind of brings up like what we was talking about before, epigenetics. You want to read the definition of it?
Yeah, so what was the... Epigenetics is the study of heritable changes in gene expression, turning genes off and on, that occurs without alterations to the DNA sequence, influenced by factors like environment and lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So just the environment itself.
I was today years old when I heard of this part. I mean, I knew trauma obviously had subcategories and was, compartmentalized in these different ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But to like read that aloud and apply it to yourself.
Yeah, heritable.
Because sometimes you ever feel some shit and you don't know where the fuck it coming from.
Like you mad, but you don't know why.
Or the most random shit to trigger you and shit.
Like some people,
it could be your great grandma.
You have some people feeling stuck in life. They don't feel like, they don't understand why they just can't move or be. They may have a vision of what they want to be, but they can't get there. A lot of times, that is a epigenetic, almost like a trauma bond. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's good to know who you are and where you come from.
That part.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I also tell people to show our community we need to show ourselves grace first, right? We have to show it. You know, we're not going to be perfect because we're broken as a people. And anybody who want to debate me on that, bring it on. But I don't care how much money you have, right?
Oh,
we are still running.
Money is not going.
Still a nigga in a coupe.
You hear me? Money's not going to take your trauma away. It may make you feel good in the moment, but you don't know how Oprah feeling when the cameras ain't on her. Just because she got all that money.
You still the only nigga sitting in the room, though. So you have to still feel away.
Yeah.
But she's also she's a victim of trauma. On multiple
she been through
levels.
A lot of stuff. Like if you read about her
she's gotten all of this money. You know, she is a product of racial showcasing, is what I call it, because there is no other Oprah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. She's like one thing, and one entity.
That's who they throw out there too. When they trying to prove a point. Well, Oprah's doing great,
right?
But ain't y'all realize Oprah ain't really been? Where Oprah been at? She been laying low for
I heard that she might be in some trouble. Started on
no Diddy.
Don't get me started on conspiracy theories, y'all.
No,
she on house arrest.
But something ain't right.
Yeah,
I've only seen Oprah on in years is one day I was randomly watching like regular TV and a program special popped on about AI and she was the host. That's the most I've seen her do. What did she do?
If it was about AI, was that her?
You silly. She really don't have to do much. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
It just seemed like she started laying low. Like
she did when certain things started taking.
When that Epstein list. Y'all better pay attention. We're trying to tell y'all this shit for 15, 20
y'all
years.
see this a recurring theme on here, right?
It's a lot of people. A lot of people been ducked off. But yeah, a lot of people been ducked off. But I mean, that just goes. That's my point. You can have all the money in the world. I need people to understand. Even the racial showcasing. When we look at the basketball players, the football players, you look at rappers. Like, how many Rick Rosses are they? How many Drakes are they?
Right.
So they make these characters. Our culture has been
manufactured.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a form of trauma because we're striving to try to be this one character.
And it's millions of people.
And it's millions of people. And, you know, they control the narrative of their opportunities. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How many people work just as hard as Rick Ross, but it's only one Rick Ross?
Right.
How many journalists out there are way better than Oprah has ever been? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, we got to understand that our culture has been manufactured.
Yeah.
And we know this and we still strive for
where we came from. We're always going to have this trauma bond until we figure out where we came from. Who are we as a people?
But that's when our families come into play. And this is one thing that I always say. You need to, our ancestors that are still living, need to let go of the shame of their life and open up and talk about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because that's how you heal the generations behind you. But if you silent and quiet about it because you're still ashamed, you haven't healed. That can't help my healing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. A drastic change that happened in my healing process was when I started asking my mother very, 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 when I say very, because my mom had mom's had a life.
Yeah.
And I had to get real candid. Yeah. And there was a lot of shit I never wanted to hear that my mother had been through.
Yeah.
But like you said, it has to occur.
You have to.
That's what we're missing. We're missing the necessity.
Right.
as a people. We're missing. It's not this thing where I can be like, oh, I'll figure it out. I'll church it out. I'll smoke it out. I'll drink it out. You have to get mental help.
You have to. And then our moms have to realize, and our grandmothers, our great grandma, how opening up to us is healing them too.
Absolutely.
It's a dynamic
It goes
situation.
back and forth.
Ways.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's give and take.
Yeah.
It's definitely give and take.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I think the beauty of, like, when you read that definition of epigenetics, that it says that it can be turned on and off, that the environment can shift things. So to me, that leaves some sort of space for a change that could occur.
Can I give you an example?
Yeah.
So my son lives with attention deficit, right? Hyperactivity. Now, had I had him going to public school and we lived in a high crime community, okay? I feel like my son I would have lost him to the environment. But because I've always had him in private schools, predominantly white institutions, and he lives in Madisonville, but we live on Columbia. We live on Stewart. That's Columbia Township, right?
Yeah.
So we live up on the hill. He don't live in the inner part of Madisonville because he went to school with all white kids. A lot of times he's in the suburbs. You follow me?
I'm following.
But he still got his gold grills that he wanted for Christmas. He still wear his Yeezys. He still want his Nike Fit, Dry Fit, Tech.
Nike Tech suit.
He still got his studio set up in his room, and he rap about bitches and hoes. and playing with guns.
But he ain't really.
Bro, like you go to, say that.
What I'm saying, but he go to Moeller High School.
Moeller, that's right.
Moeller though.
Plays rugby, the only white boy on the team.
Yeah.
Now, if I put him at Withrow, you know, no shame to A1, but y'all got a high crime area out there. We put him on Burton in Avondale, and he went to Withrow. I don't know what would have happened.
He would have been a different guy.
Or Taft High School. I don't know what would have happened. Even though, because there's good parents out there, right? And they're trying to do their best to raise their kids. I know they are. But because of who your child is exposed to when you leave that house matters.
It do. The environment.
It do. Now, could he go to the white schools and get caught up on some drugs?
Yeah. It happens.
Yes, it happens all the time.
I think it's
that. Warning Hills is one of them schools.
Warning Hills is the drug capital,
right?
Yeah.
But we played that drug game too, because he experimented with weed, so I got him a weed card. I went and got him a weed card, Moeller drug test. You know what you just? Hey, I'm not playing.
They drug test the students.
They drug test every boy at Moeller.
Damn.
And they do hair follicle
yearly,
randomly.
Even not just for athletics.
All Moeller boys get hair follicle tests.
What?
Stop.
They all get tested once a year and then randomly after that.
What?
And he has been tested before.
Who knew?
And so I went and got him a drug test.
Private institution.
Yeah, you
put
what you are. That's private.
And so he ended up having a bad experience smoking weed because I was controlling his use by giving him gummies. But, you know, he got a big sister. He got a god brother. They giving him Cushments and shit. And next thing I know, his anxiety is through the roof because he done seen some evil shit. He smoked so much that he experienced psychosis.
Ooh.
So now I gotta
it mixed with the medicine.
He wasn't on medicine. My son don't take medicine no more.
Medicinal marijuana.
This was medical marijuana. But it's strong. Yeah, the THC content was so high that it induced him into psychosis. And
wow.
He was out of touch with reality, but he was able to pull himself back, right? And so CBD is what I was treating him with, and I got him in to see his therapist. The CBD was keeping his anxiety at bay, and I had his therapist do an assessment with him as well, and I called his medical marijuana doctor. Shout out to Dr. Bridget Williams.
Yeah. Shout out. She always
So
doing
yeah, she like helped us out so much. And that's why I recommend, if you know your kid is experimenting with cannabis, you know, you're gonna throw him out to the world, or you're gonna get a professional involved so that they could be a part of his treatment, because it is theoretically a medicine. It's just the brains are underdeveloped, and they really shouldn't be smoking marijuana probably until they're 25. But no kid should be taking ADHD medicine, stimulants either.
Right. It's the
meth.
same thing.
So, you know, if it's regulated,
You said
and
it's
it's
meth?
Meth.
ADHD medication.
It's meth.
Speed.
Yeah,
Speed.
it's one molecule up.
So you got to understand, they're giving these kids narcotics anyway, but then
Right.
they want to
That's what
frown
written
when
is.
you want to give your child
A
marijuana.
joint, right.
Mm-hmm.
If you're giving your child marijuana and you treating it like a medication, then that's different. You know what I'm saying? So,
Great
but
point.
the cannabis strands are so strong that it's really increasing psychosis in our kids, and psychosis can lead to schizophrenia.
Yeah.
One of the things that Sasha and our organization, the Cincinnati Minority Cannabis Group, has been doing is going out in the community and hosting community discussions, informing communities about cannabis and how to use a harm reduction approach to cannabis use among young people to prevent deteriorating mental health disorders,
Yeah.
such as schizophrenia or other psychotic
Are these
disorders.
episodes that they
Yeah.
have? Episodes of psychosis. So yeah, I think it's all full circle right there. And as far as like we talked about epigenetics, I think that brings us right back to the word of the day.
Yeah.
So Claire gonna hit us
Which
with
is
that.
the womb is the place the light enters you. And that's by Rumi.
It's pretty deep. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Mhm.
Sparks a place for healing. Like if we really being real and we opening up about these traumas, this could be the place where we all heal as a people together. So I know we gotta get up out of here, y'all.
I want to add one more thing. I'm gonna
Yes, please
backtrack.
do.
When one of the things that the doctor prescribed Kosi the medical marijuana card for was post-traumatic stress disorder.
See?
So post-traumatic stress disorder is trauma.
Yeah.
Something traumatic had happened to him. And it was a couple car accidents. He was in a head-on collision.
Oh wow.
He played football, Little League football, from age 5 into 10th grade, because now he plays rugby. Nevertheless, head injuries.
CTE.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and there were some other things, like being bullied at school. That's a form of trauma. I remember 2nd grade, some little boy stepped to him and he pushed him. But, I don't know how that affected his brain at that time, because he had never been threatened in that form.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
He was in a school with predominantly black kids, where he was in a small school with just one kid. He was at St. Joe's. I had to get him up out of there. That school was off the chain. But anyway, it's not even there anymore. But I just wanted to make sure I was very clear. I did not get him a medical marijuana card so he can just sit around and get high.
Right.
I gave it to him because he struggles. He